So look, if you want to grow your wealth, your income, and increase the amount of time off, then these are the shortcuts that can help. Welcome to the Wealth Creation Podcast. And good morning, everybody. It's Dan Latto speaking. It's 8:02 a.m. on the 22nd of March, 2019. Hope you're well. It's Friday today, so that's pretty cool. We're going to New York tomorrow. That's pretty cool as well. Very much looking forward to that. We're staying in Times Square, a 5-star hotel. It's looking pretty good. So that's really good. So in this podcast, I want to talk to you about whatever you're doing right now and you're on the wrong path. And you're like, okay, I'm on the wrong path and I don't want to be doing this. And I'm here to tell you it's not too late. So let's give you some examples. The best one I can think of course, is Colonel Sanders. Good morning, Julie. Colonel Sanders was, I think, 66 when he first started up KFC. Okay, so, you know, if you're on the wrong path and you're like, even if you're enjoying the path, but the path that you're on isn't going to get you to the result, which might be financial freedom. I'm guessing it is. Good morning, because this is why we're here. This is why you're listening to these podcasts. So if you're on this path and you're happy on this path and you're happy and you know it, but it's not going to get you to where you want to get to, and maybe you need to change the path that you're on. And that can be really difficult, especially if you're enjoying what you're doing. But it comes down to a simple choice. You know, do I keep doing what I'm doing, even though I'm enjoying it, but knowing I'm going to have to do this thing for the rest of my life? Or do I change track and jump onto something else, knowing that maybe you've got to take a pay cut, maybe you've got to take a step back? I'll tell you, taking a step back to analyze the whole scene in front of you will work wonders. And when I say the whole scene, my eyes are watering crazy this morning. When I mean the whole scene, what I mean is step back and look at where are you going to be in 10 years' time? Where are you going to be in 20 years' time? Where are you going to be in 40 years' time? Where would you like to be? I remember going to Chris Howard training events in London. And if you remember those, you remember just how special they were. Chris is now a client of mine. Chris has paid for me to go over and do work for him. So in my mind, that was something I wanted to go down that particular path. I wanted to get to know this person more. And that's one of the things that I've done. But I remember going to his training courses and doing the whole visualization thing, which is where I learned all my NLP stuff, the whole visualization of, walking hand in hand on the beach with my wife. And that's what we do now, right? Because we live in the Med, on the beach, in the sun. When I visualized it and it's, it's all sunny and it's really warm and we're walking, I was thinner in that vision than I actually am. so we're still a little bit of work to go there. But that became my reality. And this whole idea about visualizing exactly what it is that you want is paramount in you getting what you want. Because a friend of mine, he had a Moleskine book, and he said, this book's magic. Whatever I write in this book comes true. Now, it comes true because he's told himself that whatever he writes in that book will come true. And whatever you're telling yourself is what the result will be for you. So if you're telling yourself you're useless, nobody loves you, you're crap, you're lazy, and by the way, we all go through moments of this. Like we all go through it. I go through it. You're useless. You're lazy. You fat bastard. I am. I need to lose some weight again. But saying those things to yourself ain't going to help you, right? Saying, instead of you're a fat bastard, how about saying you're on your way to better health? Like think about the language. If you say you're a fat bastard, well, you might as well have that kebab and that pizza. But if you're saying, well, you're on your way to better health, no, I'm not going to have a kebab and pizza. Actually, I'm going to go for a run and eat salad and chicken, whatever, right? So how you talk to yourself is going to be paramount in terms of your success. How you visualize yourself into the future is going to be paramount on your success. And if you spend zero time looking and listening to the words that come out of your mouth, interesting, I said the word looking there, listening, taking an account of how you are perceived in the marketplace by other people, it's really important. Understanding how much time you're spending looking forward and visualizing what your future life is going to be in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, whatever that happens to be. Understanding, okay, I've got these investments, I'm going to package them up and put them in a trust. I understand the tax implications of that, and I'm going to pass these on at the age of 75. I'll keep some back for me, and so on, right? Understanding that this is the game plan. You see, you don't get to an NBA basketball game and the coach, let's choose Luke Walton of the LA Lakers, Bill's son. For those who know Bill Walton, nobody does. So Luke Walton doesn't get, okay, Q1 in the first quarter. Okay, lads, let's just go out there. Let's just score more than they score. Brilliant, coach. Let's do that. So they get there. And then it doesn't get to like the third quarter, down 20. And he's like, oh no, we're down 20. Don't know what to do. Just go score more baskets than they do. It just never happens. Luke has got a plan. If he's 20 down at the half, he's got a plan already written down. He already knows what's going to happen if he's 20 down at the half, 20 down, 20 up at the half. He knows what's going to happen if he's 10 down in the fourth quarter. He knows what's going to happen if he's 10 seconds left. He already knows before the game has even started which play he's going to run and who the ball is going to. And he also knows that if that person that the ball was going to is injured or has fouled out, who the second backup is going to be. He already knows all that. He knew that 6 months ago. He didn't get to the game and go, Kobe, you take the shot. I mean, actually, Kobe doesn't play anymore, and Kobe would take the shot. But, like, what happens? What happens in a double overtime game when half the team have fouled out? Who's your go-to guy then? Luke already knows that person. And he knew that 6 months ago, right? So if it's all right for Luke Walton in the NBA getting paid $30 million a year, I don't know what Luke gets. He gets a lot. NBA, isn't it? Professional sports. But he knows all this stuff, right? So I think I'm coming down with a cold, by the way. I'm really sniffly and my eyes are watering like crazy. But the question I've got for you then is, what about you? What's your game plan in the fourth quarter? What if you're 20 down with 10 minutes to go? What if you're coming up to the end of your half time? Depends on how old you are. So you could equate, let's say, we'll do it that way. Yeah, let's say 20 years. So your first 20 years, that's the first quarter, 0 to 20. Your second 20 years, 20 to 40. So you might be in that, could be just coming up to the second half. And now you need to take a look and go, oh my gosh, we're 20 down, what we're going to do. Or you might be 10 up. Or you might be break even, right? Or you could be, 40 to 60 in your third quarter. And then now you're like, oh, okay, we're 10 down. We need to do something. Like, this isn't working. Or you could be 60 to 80 and you're in the fourth quarter and you're like, you want to pass. You got to pass this game to get onto the next game, right? To get into the playoffs, you've got to win this game. The playoffs being passing the stuff down to your generations. Maybe the metaphor doesn't stretch that far, but this is what you've got to be looking at. Where are you in the game, and what's the score? And what did you want to happen? Did you want to win by 30? Did you want to lose by 20? Did you want to win by a 1 point game? I know which I'd prefer. And so let me give you an example. We had a basketball team. I was 18 at the time, and my maybe 19. My basketball team was full of 14-year-old kids, and we lost half of our first games. And then suddenly, when they started listening to what the coach told them to do, we started winning games, and we won the next 6. And we were playing against the best team in the league, and we were down like 5 points with 2.5 minutes to go, maybe 8 points, something like that. 2.5 minutes to go, and I called a full court press, and we got on them, and we did play a little bit dirty. We held on to them a little bit. I remember holding on to one guy's arm, and he's flapping. He got called for a foul. We just had to do what you had to do to win that game, He was the best player in the league at the time. He was scoring 30, 40 points a game. He's in his 50s as well, by the way. He's about 6'3". Gordon Meadows from Harrogate. He was a really good player and a bit of a knob, but a good player. But we hit him with full court press, and we were 8 points down, and we won that game. And it took them by surprise, completely took them by surprise, because we changed everything that we'd done in that whole game. We completely turned it around and just completely swapped it. We did something entirely opposite to what they expected us to do. We read the chessboard, and we came up with a decision to change what wasn't working because we're 8 points down or whatever it was, and we were able to turn it around in the last couple of minutes. It is possible to do that. We've got lots of examples of games like that, actually. We had a game where we were playing zone, and then we were full court press, and then we scored like 10 points in a row, and they called a timeout because they couldn't cope with a full court press. And knowing they were going to change because of the full court press, they came out of a timeout. We went back into a zone because the coach had told them set screens off the ball and all of that kind of thing, pick and rolls and all that kind of stuff. And we changed it back into a zone. They then forgot about what the coach had told them. And then 2 minutes later, we went back into full court press, scored another 10 points. It's a chess game. It's a chessboard. Life is a chessboard. Your clients are a chessboard. Where do you want to be? Where are you going to pull your cash from? If you're making £175, this morning in my account, we've had 2 payments, actually. Not a lot of money at all. One was for 90 quid and one was for 76 quid. The £76 came from top cashback, right? So we used that. And you're like, 76 quid, what's the point? £76 is £76. What are you going to use that with? We did in previous podcasts, we've done calculations based on, 90 quid over the next 20 years at a 30% return on investment. Like, that's a lot of money, right? So what are you going to use that for? And then the other £90 came from Google AdSense on a couple of websites that we've got, but we never used. And we were like, oh, look, 90 quid, we'll draw that down. So we've got like £166 that's come through. And then we're like, okay, what are we going to use that for? Like, that could be Facebook ads, or it could be a new website, or it could be paying for an SSL certificate or whatever, right? But you can utilize that money. And it's like pulling little bits in is really valuable. But then how does that fit into your game plan? And can you pull little bits from all sorts of different areas to replace your current income so that you never have to work, so then you can just focus on this? One of the problems I found is that as my wealth has increased and I need to work less, I do choose to work less, and I sometimes choose to work not at all, and that's not conducive for anything. Nothing gets looked at. A call comes in to repair some properties. I don't even pass it on sometimes. And it's like, oh, maybe I should actually do that. So everybody wants financial freedom and time freedom, but actually it can be a bit of a double-edged sword unless you're very disciplined, which I'm not. So just going back to it, what is it that you want? When do you want it? And what is the vehicle that will allow you to get there? Because once you know what those are, then you can start implementing. But then it comes down to that simple choice. Do I stick doing what I'm doing, knowing that I might not get there, or do I change track? It could be that you have to learn how to do Facebook ads. You have to go on a training course for Facebook ads, and you've got to learn how to do it. You've tried outsourcing it, it doesn't work. And I tell you, Facebook ads is really hard right now, and it's only getting harder anyway. And also, Facebook want it to be harder because they want you to have to pay someone who then spends more money, and Google benefits from it, just the way it goes. But what track are you on, and which path are you on? Which is the track that will get you to your journey, to your end game? Do you remember in yesterday's we had a person and they had like £500,000 or £350,000 worth of equity in a London property, chose not to sell. They could have been retired by now easily and never having to work ever again, and they chose not to do that. So, and it's because they took the eye off the ball. The ball was financial and time freedom, so they could go around the world, and they chose not to do that. They chose, no, I'm going to stay in the market, and I'm going to ride the wave that is London house prices going up, which, as far as I know, has changed. I've never invested in London because I don't understand the market. I only invest in stuff that I understand, right? But they took their eye off the ball. They could be flying around, living in Bali, which is cheap as chips, for the next 6 months, and then going, oh, let's go live in Seattle, where it rains all the time. Let's go live on the Med. But no, they chose to keep doing the job that they wanted, that they hated, as it happens. It just doesn't make sense to me. Work out what your destination is, find a track that will get you there, and get yourself there as quick as possible. That's where success lies. And then after that, by the way, what are you going to do after that? Monday's podcast actually probably won't exist because we're in New York, but the next podcast I'm going to do will be about Luke Skywalker's Death Star moment, and we'll call it the Death Star podcast, and you'll love this one. This is to do with what happens when you succeed, because behind that can be some dark areas unless you have a plan, like Brexit. Do you remember the faces of Gove and Boris Johnson the day after Brexit? And they look like, oh my God, we won. Shit. What do we do? Oh, heck. Let's blame someone else for not having a plan. Love it. That will do us for today. I hope you enjoyed that podcast. I'm flying to New York tomorrow, and I'm back some point next week. I don't even know. We're just away. That's all I know. I turn up with my bag. I'm there. We have an itinerary of where we're going, and the wife is in charge of all that, and I just turn up with my bag. So I don't know when I'm back. So, but when we're back, we'll go live. We might go live a couple of times in New York while we're there anyway, because we'll be up at 4, jet lag and all that. But other than that, we'll catch up with you at some point next week or the week after. Hope you have a wicked week, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care. Hey, it's Dan here. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Please click like or subscribe to the entire podcast.